don't matter. Far as that tatter, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pending. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, get about my face. Wearing that monkey, not that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster, down a call NASCAR. My solo no sir, I am not a passer. I will not after any of you fever blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky, get about my face. Wearing that monkey, not that might give you life advice. Get some money, get some money, get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money.
What's good? Who with me? What's good? Good evening to everybody. Let me get set up a little bit. I've been gone a minute. Thanks for coming in. Let me say this before we get started. I have a feeling that today is going to be a short show. Let me pull up the messages here and thank you. Appreciate it. Blessings to you as well. Let me take me down and put some of your chat up. And that way we can share these words together. I want to thank those that came in and who reached out to me personally on the side and was wondering about the family and myself, my immediate family and our situation in Florida. So thank you for reaching out. All of those, you know who you are, who reached out to me personally in the DM. Even some of the people that normally say some nasty and hateful shit actually reached out and said, "What's up?" I appreciate that. Here's when here's when you know real from fake. When people reach out to you or when you're at your lowest, all right, when the worst thing in the world possibly is happening to you, let me get these messages up. That's when you really know who's on your team, who's with you, who rock with you, who's cool, who's fake, who's fraud. You'd be surprised. I've said some things in the last 2.5 years that probably has offended a lot of people that at one point really, really liked me or liked me for what I was doing for them at the moment. That's kind of common, isn't it? I'm sure you all go through that as well. And none of them reached out. None of them gave a shit. None of them threw me a bone. None of them said, "Are you okay? You need a life raft. You need an oxygen mask. You need an oxygen tank." They didn't ask me if I needed shit. But when they were in need, I was probably one of five that they would call. I'm not sore or angry about it. I just want to let you know that this is probably why today will be a very, very short show, because I'm about to say some things that's going to probably not go over too well with some folks, but it's some shit that need to be said. And it's not because I'm angry. It's because I've always been a man that brought attention to things that really need to be said and stop focusing on, I mean, I don't want to be the guy that wants to continue to talk about the shit that everybody else is talking about, because that doesn't sound like a remedy or a cure for me. When you talk about what everybody else is talking about, how you gonna ever fix something? I just don't think that that's the solution. So, like I said, today is gonna be a short show. I'm still catching up on some things. Yesterday, I did The King and I with Emmanuel Livingston. We had a great time. Matter of fact, we went 3 hours. So I was just trying to get back into the rhythm of doing things. And so here I am, right back where we started, Wyatt Live. Thanks to the friends and family, I'm fine. The family's fine. I even took my dog down with me. We cleaned up. We did some things, insurance policies, and all of that is in motion and being done with, everything's being done that needs to be done. So thank you. Thank you for those that reached out. All right. So listen, let me say what's up to some folks before we get started. I really don't have a hot topic. All I want to do is kind of clean up some mess. I've been cleaning up for the last 2.5 weeks. I might as well come on Wyatt Live and clean up some shit as well. Why not? All right. AP, what's good, fam? That's Anthony Presser. Yeah, I said, what's good? He said, hey, fam. Joe Whittle, what's good with you, little bro? Everything good out in Phoenix? Everything good? I'm going to have to come out there soon. My mom lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Stephen Speed, good evening to you too. Dante Johnson, what's good? Miss James, what's good with you? Sabrina Calloway, what's happening, Queen? Let's see who else we got here. Let's see. Okay, AP Maria Smith, good to see you. AP McConnell, what's good, bro? Latora Gooden, what's good, PC? How's everybody doing? My computer's catching up here. I'll say what's up to some more people here in a second. Matter of fact, here we go now. So Brenda Early, what's good with you? I catch Brenda early. When I was in Florida the last couple weeks, if you want to call it that, a week and a half, we had no Wi-Fi, we had no power. The phone towers were disrupted, so you couldn't really make calls, you couldn't do anything. But let me tell you one of the things that I truly missed, and some of y'all feelings gonna be hurt when I say this. But this is just me being who I am. I'm just being honest. Every day I see a message from Brenda Early. I think I've said this before, and I'm just going to be consistent in my thoughts and my prayers and all of that. Angela Kinney, what's good? It means something to me every day that I see Brenda Early come on and wish everybody happy, love, and blessings. I give it a heart every day. I make it part of my regimen. I've incorporated in my day-to-day. And that's crazy, but I've done that. And it's almost like a pick-me-up. You know how some people need coffee? Some of y'all need a joint in the morning to get you going. I don't know how the hell that works, but that is what I need. I need inspiration. I've been self-motivated and self-inspired so long that I still can do it. But what gets some people up, gets me up, to be honest with you, is when I see positive energy. I used to say that all the time. I used to say, I don't know how people get up and get going and they're in the negative and the energy levels are so low. I don't understand how you get through your day. And then as I got a little older, I started realizing people like that. The people that have that type of energy around them and can maneuver through those type of days are usually the people that spit that venom along with it. Like they need that energy, that negative energy to get their day going because their life is negative. It's crazy. It's like their gasoline. And I had to learn that at a late age. I mean, not real late, but 10, 15 years ago, I start understanding that some people really do like negative energy. And what I've learned is as long as some people can focus on other people, they don't have to worry about themselves. Or if they can shed the light on somebody else, they might not be seen in the light. I'm okay with me. I'm okay with me. So I don't have a problem sitting back and saying nice things about people, or somebody coming back and saying something about me, because I'm okay with me. I don't have any secrets, or nothing that'll make me look like a hypocrite or any of that type of stuff. Not that I'm aware of. If you feel that you got something, just let me know. But I just don't understand how people get up on negative energy, and we've become that. We've become a negative society. That's why these fake ass shows have taken over. Love and Hip Hop and all these old fake ass shows that are fake reality. You know it's fake, and it's named a reality TV show. It's puzzling to me. Let me just say this to you. What wasn't fake is what I witnessed in Florida. Week and a half ago, what I seen. I don't know if I really want to get into it right this minute, because I want to address something in the Cincinnati area, and I want to try to get this in so people won't leave. Because when I start talking about the shit that I witnessed and I seen in Florida, people gonna go away, because they're not gonna want to hear reality. They're not gonna want to hear reality. Some chaos agents love controversy. They love to stay in the bullshit mess. They love that negative energy. And this real shit just ain't for them. It'll make them turn the channel, or drop the app, whatever it is they need to do to get the hell away from us. But let me just say this to you. When I start talking about what I seen down in Florida, it's gonna make some of you cringe. Some of you gonna hate me for being the messenger of some real shit. But before I get into that, somebody just came in. I want to say, Kenneth Jones, good evening. Before I get into that, let me just talk about something that's going on in Cincinnati right now, outside of the shootings that nobody's talking about. There was another shooting in Cincinnati. There's another one. Yeah, well, dissect it. Don't just mention it. Dissect it. Dissect the problem. Dissect it. You dissect every fucking thing else. You dissecting speed traps. You dissecting everything that the last administration and city council did. I don't see no motherfucking scientists or no doctors out here now. Where are all my critical thinkers now? Where they at now? The same shit happening that was happening 2-3 years ago. Where y'all at? But of course, y'all know. Some of you new to the game here. Some of you know that I always said that the shooting and the killing will not stop in Cincinnati with a brand new city council that's elected and brought in to look just like you and I. It wasn't going to stop. And I don't have a problem. I was the first one that said it's not going to stop it. It's not even going to reduce it. It's not going to do any of that. I just want you to have the same energy for this council that you had for the last one, when some shit like 9 people on Main Street getting shot. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage for that shit? Where's the outrage that a 13 and a 14-year-old is in court this morning in the city of Cincinnati for the murder of a 15-year-old? No mentions of it, no talk of it. That's because these are the real problems, and y'all in some Love and Hip Hop shit. Y'all talking about some old fake shit that you've been talking about and recycling for the last 30 and 40 years. Y'all putting Band-Aids over bullet wounds. You're not trying to cure no problems. You're not trying to be part of the solution. You just want to be part of the motherfucking conversation. That's it. So let's just face it. Just be honest about this shit. You're not trying to help. You just want to be kind of engaged. I've always told people, and I'm gonna prove my point. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and I'm gonna show you how I've always said the most effective help in the world is the help that don't bring any attention. The help that does not need video cameras around or messengers going back and tell. You know how many video people have come, not video people, but newscasters have reached out to me once they found out what I've done in the city, and they want to do they want to do this story or some shit. And I've always said, nah, I don't do those. I don't do that. And I say it respectfully because that's not what I do it for. So let me just get on to this one thing. And I hate to do this because my brother, of all people, my chaos ass brother, Emmanuel Livingston, started with this. I didn't hear what happened on the morning show. I told you I'm good for about 10, 15 minutes, and then I have to, woo, I can't start my days off like that listening to that shit. But from my understanding, there was some conversation about in the city of Cincinnati, some speed bumps or speed traps or what are they calling them, guys? I just caught the tail end of it. They're putting these little checkpoints or whatever up in the city of Cincinnati. And you already got, see, black folks, we always got to make it a black or white thing. It's always got to be a racial thing, no matter what the hell is going on. It's got to be based on race. So what the word is now is that they're going to put these, thanks, Crystal. What's good? Crystal Willwright, my sandbox is in here. She said, we missed you. I missed you too. Trust me. Y'all know Crystal was one that I reached out to as soon as I could get some Wi-Fi. If I want to get things out and, if I want to send a message, Crystal is my girl because she will let the freaking world know. So thank you. I sent the message to her as soon as I got this EMT. I know I'm jumping. This EMT down in Florida who worked for, I think he was with the Naples group. And this was the kindest man in the world. He allowed me to use his, they had this Wi-Fi box on the back of the truck. And he just asked me if I needed any help with anything because I was helping out. And I said, I sure would like to send a message home. But my Wi-Fi, my wife and all that are here. Everybody's cool. We're good. We're helping clean up. But I want to send a message back to Cincinnati. And he allowed me to use it's like a Wi-Fi or a hotspot box that they had on this emergency truck. And he told me he gave me the password and he allowed me to use it. And I didn't want to abuse it, but he allowed me to use it for the hot little second that I use it. And I sent Crystal Willwright a message like, hey, we're good down here. I'm helping clean up. We're helping move things around and I'm trying to help help the community out and blah, 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 blah. Thank you, sis. If you can let people know I won't be back this week. And she sent the message. So thank you, Crystal. I want to thank you in front of everyone since you reached out to everyone and on my behalf and the family's behalf. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. And I just wanted to relay that we were good. Okay. Y'all know I was here during the storm. But, I had to go back and take care of some things. Everything on my end is pretty good, except for the first two levels of the house. There was a lot of water damage. But I was very fortunate to, you got to understand, I built this house it's been 10, 11 years ago. So it's storm ready. That's what it's called. And we're fortunate enough to be able to, go through severe storms versus some of the homes that have been there for 20, 30, 40 years. So I was able to beat a lot of the damage that was done. What we don't see and what trips me out, and I said I wasn't going to go here yet, and I'm not, but I'm going to wet your taste buds. The massive destruction that I seen around me was crazy. And I want to say this before I forget, because I don't have any notes or anything. I'm going straight from the dome. I want to thank Myrtle Beach Boys and Girls Club. Y'all know that I've been a boys club advocate. I've been part of the boys club since I was 6 years old. And I went from a club member to a board member. So I support the Boys and Girls Club. I've always supported the Boys and Girls Club. And being a board member, I started as a board member in the city of Cincinnati years ago because I grew up in the LeBlanc Boys and Girls Club. So I wanted to give back. And they told me I couldn't volunteer at the club, which that's what I initially wanted to do. But they didn't want me volunteering. They wanted me on the board. And of course, it was an honor to be on the board, but I didn't have any I couldn't mingle with the kids. I couldn't play ball with the kids, basketball. I couldn't teach little art crafts. I couldn't do any of that. And that kind of hurt me a little bit, but I'm over it. The fundraising is, they had to convince me that fundraising was very important. And all the things I grew up having in the Boys and Girls Club that were free for me, somebody had to pay for it. And they convinced me. Hey, Wyatt, if you really want to do something, fundraising is a very, very huge part of how we survive and how we are able to do these things and buy these shirts and do all this stuff. This is how we're able to do it, pay our salaries. So, of course, they convinced me. I've been a board member for 15 years now, and I'm proud to say it. That all being said, the Fort Myers Boys and Girls Club, which is predominantly um, Black, um, took a severe hit. I mean, it's gone. And of course, I put my hands down and my buckles down right in front of how do we get this back? I need to hit the kids that are going here. Where are their parents? What's going on with their life? Because most kids that go to Boys and Girls Clubs, they're generally from certain neighborhoods, right? And that's where my concentration went. And my wife was very supportive. We bought everything from Pampers to bottled water to whatever we could get that would help the situation. It was more than just cleaning up. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Um, it was definitely an awakening. I've always said that people find out the best people when you're at your worst. And here in a minute, I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. But I just want to say this. Some people gonna fall out with me when I say what I gotta say about how shit was going in Florida. Y'all gonna fall out with me. Some of you might get it. Some might be okay. I get it. He upset or whatever. But I got some real shit to say about it. But for right now, let's talk about these things that they talking about in Cincinnati. Not the shootings, like I said, not the shootings. Let's talk about this speed situation. Can somebody put it up on the screen for me? What is it called? Some type of I don't know what it's called. I didn't catch the whole thing, but if somebody could put it on the screen, I really would appreciate it. They're talking about doing this little speed trap thing. And if I'm not mistaken, for the last 6 months, they've been complaining about people driving up and down the roads crazy. There it is. Stephen Speed, thank you. It's a traffic blitz. And I said a long time ago that the police are not stopping people because they don't want the pain in the ass situations. Because look at all these police stops. What police officer wants to pull somebody over for a speeding ticket and can fuck around and have to do something for real? Like smell see a narcotic or see a gun or pull the person over for speeding and they have an open warrant. No police officer really wants to deal with that right now. Why not? Well, it's kind of tough for them to do what they need to be doing right now. All you got to do is watch some of the damn videos. Watch some of the videos of when police pull people over. All this, they come back and forth. They don't want to do the job. And I said it 6 months ago. I said the reason why so many accidents are happening on Reading Road, and that happened to be the conversation, was Reading Road is probably the longest road it's probably one of the longest roads in the city of Cincinnati. And it stretches through Avondale and goes all the way downtown. Matter of fact, my office building is on Reading Road. It's at the bottom of Reading Road. Reading Road is probably one of the dangerous roads in the city of Cincinnati. And you hear about kids damn near getting hit over in that area all the time because you got dudes that don't pay attention. They got their music blasting, they speeding, they smoking, they doing all the fun shit that y'all like, that y'all think is fly. They doing all that shit. And these kids don't know no better. Some of them, we did it. We dashed out in the street trying to beat the traffic. You got car accidents. All this is happening. And of course, when you say something like traffic blitz, what do some people try to do? Make it a black and white thing. Even if it's something that's saving the kids in our community's life, this has to be put together because what they're trying to do, y'all, is they trying to ticket black people. It couldn't be, maybe they trying to ticket the people that are endangering the black children in the community. It can't be that. It has to be the cynical They trying to just take money out of black people money, out of their pockets, trying to take their money. They only gonna do this in the black neighborhoods. Well, let me just say this to you. If the black neighborhoods are the neighborhoods that have the highest accident and I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm saying they're going to look at the accident rates. They're going to look at the speed ticket writing rates. They're going to look at the reports that are coming in from the residents of certain communities that are complaining. That's how they're going to break down where they're going to put these traffic blitzes. But no, we want to think that it has to be something pertaining to this is what they do to us. Even when somebody trying to save your motherfucking ass, it's what they trying to do to us. Let me ask you, is it going to take one of our children to get hit by one of these cars, or to be in a nonsense accident, or to be standing at a stoplight? Did y'all see what happened up in Clifton 2 weeks ago? 2 college students got hit just crossing the street because a carjacker didn't see the red light, ran through the red light and hit 2 college students. Imagine, and I almost lost it that day. Imagine if that was Ohio State Police Department calling me, Mr. Wyatt, your daughter was crossing the street at a green light. She had every right in the world to cross the street, and a driver hit her irresponsibly. Your daughter is gone. It's going to take me to hear some shit like that for me to understand, oh, okay, well, this could be saving lives by having these traffic blitz. No, I'm not. It don't take trauma for me to understand when some things may be put in place that can actually save me. I don't look at everything as being black and white. I don't look at everything as being this is against black people. How about there's people speeding in certain neighborhoods that don't even have a license? How about there's people speeding that's under the influence of weed? Y'all want the shit legal. Y'all don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Listen, I'm not the criticized type to say that if you smoke weed, you're a loser and all that. I don't care. I grew up in a house full of weed. I grew up, everybody around me smoking weed. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't get high and none of that shit. But that don't mean that I'm going to sit back and criticize people. But it does leave room for me to say something when those type of individuals are causing trauma to other people's lives for their irresponsibilities of their pleasures. Think about that one for a second. E-Man had his show on today, and I just put a comment in there. And of course, I get not necessarily attacked, but someone told me, let me tell you what I said first. I said, well, since y'all feel like this is only going in the black community, and you feel this is triggering black folks, what do you say about the OVI spots out in the suburbs? I said, those things are all over the place. They're all over the place. Don't nobody ever say anything like, oh, they targeting them white communities. You don't say shit. But as soon as they put something like a traffic blitz in a community that has fucking traffic issues, you think they just want our money. That's not what it is, bro. It could be that they actually want to save some of these 12 and 9-year-olds that are crossing the street, getting hit at the University of Cincinnati. And they're going to put them in the most aggressive areas of traffic violations. As they should. But this is what wears me out. It wears me out when it's always a black thing, white thing. And I know I ain't going to hold the attention of everybody. This ain't for everybody. There's some real shit over here. Somebody about to laugh that I got my back scratching. Y'all know I take a shower before I go on the air. I got a little OCDC or whatever that, OCD. I'm a little bit of that. But it's just amazing to me that we can sit back and think that these things that are put in place are supposed to be against us. It amazes me. It amazes me. Now, I don't know, I ain't gonna never let nobody say nothing bad about my brother E. And he got attacked a little bit today. I caught the tail end of something, and I heard him getting clowned a little bit, man. And if you got a problem with E, you got a problem with me. Y'all know that's my theme song there. And man, it's funny how we got fake ass friends and fake ass people that act like we rock together and all that old shit. They was clowning my man, talking about see if he learned to listen to people, he'd be back on the radio and he'd be making money. And I even heard the old head say some shit. He snuck one in. I don't know if he even care. He probably don't even care. He probably don't. I know he don't care, but I do. You're gonna say some shit like, well, if he learned to listen, he wouldn't be talking for free or some shit like that. I probably put that in the wrong way. That's probably how I took it, but I know what he said. He said, yeah, he's still doing some stuff. He's still doing some stuff, but he ain't getting paid for it. He ain't getting paid to talk no more. Well, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Maybe he don't have to be a slave to the rhythm like you because you get paid to say nonsense. You got to keep a certain agenda. You got to sit back and talk about a motherfucker and you don't know nothing about nobody else. Your agenda is to just badmouth a person. You sit back and talk about Herschel Walker. If a white man say the same shit that this black man say about Herschel Walker, if it was said about another black man, y'all lose y'all fucking mind. You wouldn't say shit crazy about how he said, how the man talk, all that old goofy shit, y'all would have a fucking problem. If a white man called Herschel Walker stupid, if he called anybody, if they named off the same shit that these black folks say about Herschel Walker. Now, listen, I'm not here defending Herschel Walker, his character and all that. I'm talking about how we do one another on an open mic, how we do each other, man, how we do each other. It's funny how we the main motherfuckers that's asking for respect out here, but we respect the least of each other. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. Now I got to get on what I really want to talk about. And I know some of y'all going to zone off and get on up out of here. But when I was helping babies get out of the water down in Florida, I didn't see no Black Lives Matter, nothing. All I seen was a bunch of white men in pickup trucks, them same pickup trucks that y'all call Trumpsters and all that old shit, picking our black babies up, putting them in the back of the truck and getting them to safety. Where was you at when that shit was happening? I didn't see anybody down there buying Pampers. I didn't see anybody down there making room in their place or offering to help. I didn't see none of that shit. I didn't see any concern. I didn't see any private jets landing over in Tampa Bay and wheeling in your nice celebrities and all the shit that people that wanted to show up and sit in the front row of the George Floyd funerals and all that old shit. You know, he had 5 of them. Yeah, Ludacris and all them guys sitting in the front row of a motherfucker they didn't even know, sitting in the funeral, just getting clout. Al Sharpton, all of them. And I'm sitting back here listening to the director of the Myrtle, of the Boys and Girls Club of Myrtle Beach. I'm trying to figure out, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? I mean, they have no food, they had no shelter. They had nothing to give these kids that look like me. But where was all the help at? Where was the same loud? You know, my grandmother always told me the loudest can is the emptiest. Well, I seen a lot of empty. The same loud can people were nowhere to be found. And the crazy thing about it is this. I'm here to report it and show it to you and tell you. They didn't show you that on the news. I haven't been able to see one news outlet that showed you black people suffering in Florida due to this storm. I ain't seen it. Anybody seen that yet? Anybody seen it on the videos? No, all you see is white people and their homes that were usually level homes. Did y'all see any mansions floating down the street? Did you see any 3-story? Did you see any modern homes? Did you see any of that? Now you got to understand there's two sides of Myrtle. There's Myrtle Beach and then there's the Myrtle side. Okay. The Myrtle Beach side is destroyed, pretty much over. But those are your more smaller homes. These are the people that are down there barely making it. And I don't mean like dirtball poor. These are individuals that love a certain lifestyle. They're beach goers. They just bartenders. They'll do a job making just enough to get by, but they love their lifestyle and they love being in Florida, going to the beach every day. They just love doing that. Not rich white folks, none of that. None of that. Might have enough money accumulated over the years to put enough money down, $5,000 or $6,000 down on a boat. On a boat. The same amount of money as a car. Some of them don't even own cars. They own a boat and they have a boat payment. You think they rich because they got a nice little boat over there. They're not rich. Some of them live on those boats. Who the hell would want to live on a boat? I'm not talking about a yacht. I'm talking about a boat. A 27-footer, 26-foot, 25-foot boat. You walk downstairs and it's like going into I know everybody's been on an airplane. Mostly everybody's been on an airplane. Can you imagine in a boat, your bathroom being the size of an airplane's boat or of an airplane's bathroom? You know, the bathroom on a plane, that's the size of these boats' bathrooms. And you live there? And we had this perception that these people rich, they got it. Well, the little bit that they had is gone. The little bit that they had is gone. I already hear people now, but wait a minute, Wyatt. Insurance. Biden showed up and he dropped a bag on them. Biden showed up and he dropped a bag on them, Wyatt. He didn't have no choice. How the fuck you gonna send $53 billion to Ukraine and not go down there and drop a bag on Florida? How's that gonna equate? How does that look to the people? Plus, Biden had this agenda. If I go if I go down to Florida, drop this bag off, I can make DeSantis look like a fool. I can make him look foolish. And some will say, nah, that wasn't the agenda, Wyatt. That wasn't the agenda. Well, why didn't he go to Jackson, Mississippi with the water problem? Why didn't he go down there? Why hasn't he been down to the border? Crystal Powell, what's good? Fame, what's good? We're going to pick and choose theatricals, things that make us look right. And then we're going to pick and choose our shots. That's the world, right? Roz, what's good? See, I'm way too swift for that type of shit. Way too swift. I pay attention to what people pay attention to. And what you pay attention to is what really matters to you. If you don't pay attention to it, then it don't matter. If you're not paying attention to the border, that means it don't matter. You don't give a fuck, no matter what it's doing to our community. Y'all gonna listen to me one day. Y'all gonna listen to me one day. You're gonna find out. See, what's gonna happen is one of your grandbabies, God, Lord knows I don't want this to be. But when this fentanyl shit, and the last time I checked, when I was in Florida, I was getting my Cincinnati.coms and shit built up in my email. And I read on my email when I got to the airport at Tampa, coming back here, I was like, damn, I'm a few days late on this. But Hamilton County has a red alert on fentanyl in the county. Hamilton County, that's Cincinnati. And I was like, boy, I said this shit a year ago. I said it'll be here soon. Looking like M&M's, Skittles, and all type of other shit. And nobody wants to pay attention to me. You're not going to pay attention to one of your babies die of it or your son get 30 years for it. And then you're going to holler and scream. Here's what I don't understand. Where's the hollering and the screaming for all the fentanyl coming in and the government is assisting it? I know they're going to ban me on Facebook for this one. The government has their hand in this shit. But when the crack dropped off, y'all gave crack motherfucking addresses. Oh, the government dropped it off at 1252 Land Street. I seen them. They dropped a bag of guns off there too. I seen it. They hit up, they was on 1480 John Street. I seen them drop a bag of, they dropped 4 keys, 4 kilos of dope on John Street. Had everything to say about the crack epidemic. Y'all don't think fentanyl is hurting the Black community? It ain't hurting you yet. That's why you're not paying attention to it. It's not hurting you yet. Let your baby get 30 years for selling some dope that had enough fentanyl in it to kill a whole city. Let that sink in for a second. Thank you, Sabrina. I appreciate it. I said it 2 years ago. I said, what's the number one cause? And I'll put it up against anything. If I was a betting man, I would put most of the crime in our city, in the city of Cincinnati, majority of the crime that's happening in the city of Cincinnati is drug related. I'm not talking about I'll put it up with domestic violence, robbery. I'll put it up with a whole lot of stuff because drugs, believe it or not, have a lot to do with robbery. Who you think robbing these homes? Drug addicts. Domestic violence. What do you think is happening when a drug addict end up getting into an argument with his wife or her husband? And there's this drug abusive thing going on within the home. And now there's fighting. And here goes some domestic violence because most of the time, one of the parties are on drugs. All this shit come down to the dope game. The majority of it. Theft in the city of Cincinnati. Theft. What do you think they up there stealing out of Home Depot for? You got dudes out there carrying big ass water generators and shit out of Home Depot, selling them for $50. Lawnmowers and tools for a fraction of the cost. It's all dealing with the dope game. It's all dealing with the dope game. And I told you a year ago, specifically, I said, I know y'all not really paying attention now, but you know the Midwest is always late to get things from music to clothing, fashion, to the drugs as well, and the problems that come along with it. Yeah, here we are. We're here, folks. Hamilton County has a fentanyl problem, and a lot of people are thinking fentanyl. Oh, that's like that shit called what's that? That's like what's that stuff that they was making in the trailer parks and shit? Meth. Yeah, meth. That ain't our drug. That's them white folks dying of that shit. No, it's not. Y'all babies out here on pills. Our babies are out here on pills. Our babies are out here dying of fentanyl overdoses. So now I'm going to get back to what I was saying, man. I didn't really want to talk about that shit. Said some clown dropping links in the chat. All right, let me go ahead and get rid of that. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me take one second. 1 second. Okay, I see. All right, let me get rid of this real fast. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I nixnayed that. Hey, thanks, Ben. Been about that check. I appreciate you. So what did I see? while in Florida. I didn't see racism. And what's crazy to me, y'all really gonna get mad when I say this shit because y'all think I go in on people. Y'all think I got this. I don't know. I guess you think I don't like the vice president and president. I don't know, but I can only speak from the experiences that I've seen. It's funny how the vice president of the United States, the only thing that they could say that had anything significant, the she said some chaos agent shit, and she wasn't even in Florida. She wants to make sure that the money that her president, the boss of her, is allocating to Florida. She want to make sure that it's economically going to be spread out economically fair. It's the same person that ain't got nobody down there helping put black babies on trucks, pulling grandmothers out of their flooded homes, grandmothers up in the attics and on the roof of their properties. And you got the National Guard down there putting people on trucks. And the audacity to say, we want to make sure these funds are going to be economically spread out fair. What I seen was very fair. I seen no racism. I seen black people helping white people helping black people. I seen people giving their last water to somebody. I seen people that were helping people get over fences. I seen other people helping get their pets. I seen it was like a war. It was like a war. I seen unity. And nobody's talking about that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody wants us to be unified. Nobody wants this shit to work out. Because I can only think of a few people that if this shit works out, if we actually get along, what the fuck would they do with their day all day? What could they possibly talk about? You know what I'm saying? If everybody if it was a good place and we were all having great conversations and we can all sit down at the same tables and have the same food and the same meals and talk about the same greatness. If we were all in the same place, what would some of these folks talk about? What would chaos agents think about? I mean, what would they say? How could they make their money at that point? What propaganda do you spit when there's none? You create it, right? You create it. You say shit like they putting speed bumps in the black community so the black people would have to pay. If you just tuned in, you probably don't know what I just said, but if you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. All I'm saying is the exploitation of black folks, I've had enough. I've had it up to here. You don't have to rock with me, but I've been on this level right here that I'm talking about since day one of this show. It'll be 3 years in March. We started with 4. Now we got a few more. And the craziest thing to me, and then I'll get on to something else. The craziest thing to me is this. The exploitation of us come from us more than anybody. I promise you. The proof is in the pudding. You don't have to believe me. Just sit back and watch all the shit you asked for, and when you end up getting it, how does shit ever get better? Think about it. You got what you want. Cincinnati got an all-black city council, but one. Okay, now what? You got everything you wanted. Everybody that you asked to be voted in is voted in. Y'all, what's the next move? Looks good, don't it? Oh, because that's the only thing that really matters. We had a black president. You still bitching about equalities. I mean, what happened when we had a black president? What happened? Oh, it was somebody else's fault. They didn't let him get done what he needed to do because he didn't control the Senate. I get it. I get it. I got it. There's always going to be something that will replace the reason why something didn't get accomplished. It's always going to be something in place that will justify something not being accomplished. I'm done on that, man. I could go on for days. I could probably get even more into it a little bit more deeper, but I rather not. Like I said, this is probably going to be the shortest Wyatt live show ever because yeah, I'm in my feelings about it. I'm in my feelings because as I'm listening to people give all these people all of these damn narratives of the man, the white man, and this and that, all I could say to myself was I was going extra hard pulling kids on trucks and shit. Or I didn't even really do that because I wasn't equipped to be out there. Do you know I'm scared of alligators and shit? Like I can swim my ass off, but I don't think I can outswim an alligator. So like I really don't go in water like swamp shit. And now neighborhoods and down the street, blocks turned into swamps. I can't help that. I can't go into that type of water. I don't fuck with alligators. So I had this fear. So I know I wasn't going in throwing people. Look, I got my lane that I stay in. I'll help do anything. I'll feed shit. I'll feed somebody that I don't even like. I've done it before. I know you talk behind my back. I got you though. I know you don't really like me. But what y'all really want to look at before you look at anything is you might want to look at classism versus racism. Because I don't hear a whole lot of paid black folks out here saying too much shit. The only black folks that I hear bitching about America are those that piggyback off that chaos agent conversation and have to stay in the good graces because they're usually talking to their customers. You get what I'm saying? Some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. They're bitching to their customers. So if you keep your customers' ear, you keep their attention, they'll be your customers for life. Oh yeah, he down. All that old crazy shit. Yeah, he down. He one of us. He cool. Because you talking that relatable shit. Meanwhile, your man's going to the bank. He relatable. Like Al Sharpton. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Y'all down with Al and all this old shit. Al live in a $3 million penthouse. He living real good. He lived real good telling you how fucked up it is out here. People don't like some of the words that I say because, yeah, I mean, I challenge those that have been pimping. So what? I challenge pimps. So, and got a problem? I mean, shit. They don't like what I say. Why wouldn't you want to hear a different opinion? Why wouldn't you? I bet I've said some things that you never heard. I bet I've said some things that you probably don't hear on your media outlets because they don't push that. Because if they did, they would have to answer some of the questions of, well, why is that? Why, I'm telling y'all the biggest thing in the world that's going to happen. And y'all think they playing? You think they playing chess by letting all these immigrants come in here? You think they going to end up voting for these people? You picked the wrong ones. Those people that's coming over this border, it's 126 different countries coming over. These are not just Mexicans. You looking at people that's coming to this country that know America is the greatest country in the world. And if you put all 10 toes down and grind, you can be anything you want to be. Those folks know that shit. The ones that then got ate by alligators getting here, then been killed, been sacrificed. They all have a dream. And their dream is not to come over here and get on welfare. Their dream is to come over here and start a lawn care service. Their dream is to come over here. Listen, All you got to do is look at the suburbs of the United States now. Look at all these fucking Mexican restaurants. Y'all probably think that's some crazy shit I just said. Listen, you can go to Tri-County, you can go to every county. There's all Latino grocery stores. I'm not knocking it. They're just arranging themselves. Look at Hamilton, Ohio, full of Latinos. You really think they come in here to get on a government assistant program? You really think that? They're not. They may start there. They may be offered that opportunity, but that's not an opportunity. They understand what freedom truly is, and they're going to take advantage of it. I'm telling you. And here's where a lot of people wrong when you say they're going to come over here and they're going to vote for us because we let them come. So they're going to be loyal. Well, that's where the loyalty lies. That's where it dies. They draw a line in the sand of stupidity and loyalty. Anybody that's willing to die to accomplish a goal is on the right path. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds way different to a lot of people because a lot of people get content and settled. They think that they got enough. Well, for some people, enough is just having what they want. It's not having everything. It's not having everything that a rich man has or a rich woman has. It's not that. Some people just want to be independent. Some people don't want to be told, here's $360 a month in food stamps. You can't buy cigarettes. You can't buy this. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. But here's the free money. It ain't free. A level of control come with that money. A level of control, a level of ceiling comes with that money. And I'm telling you right now, look at the Latinos in the country right now. Look at how they're voting. Look at what they care about. Look at what party majority of them are with now. Look at how they don't even want their own coming over here illegally. Think about it. I'm not talking about somebody that was born here. There's people that it take about 10 years, 15 years possibly to get here to this country legally with paperwork and doing it the right way. You got people sitting here Latino as hell, and they done been through this process for 10 years, and now people coming over here and they citizens in 10 minutes. You really think they cool with that? They're not. They got a problem with it. And this is where the shit is going to backfire on people letting them come in this country. You think you letting enough in to take you over the top of your voting. You're not. You fucking shit up. Because when they get here, they're going to turn Uber driver. They're going to turn around and want to learn. They're going to learn that entrepreneurship is the key to success in America. You can be all you can be in America. And America is for sale. But if you owe America, it's kind of hard to get a piece of the pie if you owe them. It's like anybody else. If you owe them, they own you. Y'all ain't gone yet? Damn. There might be some people that actually really want to know. Just being honest. They got a problem in New York right now, and that is, and in Arizona. Joe, you out there. Joe out there. Look at the school systems. They got teachers right now complaining because they're enrolling children in these schools that don't even speak English. That ain't part of the job resume, or that wasn't part of the job duties. I'm sitting here teaching kids that are 7 and 8 years old, don't even speak English. They know hello, goodbye, thank you, maybe have a good day. But all the shit, how you going to teach a Spanish kid English? How you going to teach them English, math, and spelling and all this shit, and they don't even speak English? Why aren't y'all talking about that? Because CNN don't talk about it. Chaos Ninjas Network don't talk about it. And do you know that I'm going to give you a fact, whether you want to hear it or not, here it go. The Latino community has surpassed the Black community in America. Damn near doubled it so far. Doubled it. That don't mean nothing to you. That don't mean that you don't feel like we need to be questioning our government when they're enhancing, enlarging the Latino community and doing it illegally. And you don't think when they're getting the higher their numbers go, the lower ours go. And y'all motherfuckers sitting back here talking about Herschel Walker daily. Oh, you can easily be distracted. I got to ask you a question. This is totally out of the policies arena of Herschel Walker or any politician. But ask yourself this. If you sitting back calling somebody like Herschel Walker a coon for his thoughts, what are you calling yourself for your lack of thoughts? You're not even thinking about how you coming in. We in what, fourth, fifth place now? Sixth place? You know, there's power in numbers and we're losing numbers. So explain to me how that makes sense. All you got to do is get out of Cincinnati or get out of Ohio, go on a vacation somewhere and leave the tourist area of where you go to vacation. Because the vacation spots everywhere is the fun spot. Go into their regular world. Go to Phoenix and get off the reservation, you know, go out into the cities, go to Tucson, go to Arizona, go to some of these places and look at the Latino city councils. They understand. They get it. Go to Florida. Okay, I can probably name, man, all the counties in Florida, majority of them have Latino city councils. These are the conversations you need to be having. Y'all focused on Herschel Walker. We're going to talk about Herschel Walker all day. We're going to talk about Trump all day. You're not even watching. See, people call me a coon because I bring up things that make you think, critical thinking points, taking the policies out of it, taking the arguments out of it. And here's the thing. I always wonder and I always question people. How real are you if you don't have a problem of when you see a group of people, when you see us killing us and we don't talk about it or have a real conversation about it? How down are you really? How down are you? You want to call me a coon because of my approach? You more of a coon because you don't want to have a real conversation about it. You okay with dudes getting shot in the barbershop in broad daylight on their birthday in the back of the head? You okay with a 13 and a 14-year-old? I'm not saying that you okay with it like it don't matter. I'm saying you ain't asking no questions. The same people that got you zoomed in and focused in on all this other bullshit ain't got you focused in and zoomed in on the real shit. It really don't. How many talked about a 13 and a 14 shooting a 15-year-old? And three sets of parents are now destroyed, traumatized. How many of these dudes talked about that shit? How many of y'all talk about that New Orleans, the city that I lived in, is the number one, it's the murder capital of the United States. It ain't Idaho. It ain't Nebraska. It ain't Seattle. It ain't motherfucking what, Salt Lake City. Every day we are being reduced by either crime or other people coming into the country who are now going to be deemed as minorities. And y'all worried about other shit. It's amazing to me. I'm not saying we shouldn't worry about other stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when your numbers are reducing for whatever reason it may be, you should have a show of concern for that. Because let's be honest, y'all, we can't sit back here and say that our problems are white people problems. I know this is where I'm gonna lose a few people, but we can't honestly say that it's white people taking us out. Or can we? By the show of hands, who would say the United States government is white? By the show of hands. Would you consider them to be white? The enemy? Is the United States government doing anything right now that you can think of off the top of your head to reduce the numbers of black folks in this country? Not self-inflicting wounds, because I'm a firm believer that black people kill black people, white people kill white people, Mexicans kill Mexicans, Latinos, all that shit. Everybody, we know the truth about that, right? Let's just be honest. Is the government supporting the reduction of black folks in this country? Okay, Biden voters, this ain't an attack on Biden. You don't have to be quiet and hide your hand because you think I'm going in on Biden. It's not that at all. But this is something that's critical thinking. This is something that you need to be thinking about. I hear all this talk about Democrat, Republicans. Republicans are evil. Democrats are, compassionate or whatever. I don't care any of that. I don't care. Because the same shit that was happening to us when a Republican was in office, the same shit is happening to us with a Democrat in office. It just seems like when your teammate is up at the plate, it's just a different feel. It's a different feel. When your teammate up at the plate and he strike out, you go down with your teammate. Oh shit, we'll get it back. But when somebody else up at the plate, if they cost us the game, then they totally responsible for our loss. It's their fault. We lost. But in both cases, we lost. The Democrats struck out, the Republicans struck out, but the black folks lost. And we focused in on which one is better. We focused on all the wrong things. And this goes for both parties. I'm going to say this to you. Whenever you got an individual that can talk so bad about one guy, I had this conversation yesterday on King and I with Emmanuel. They wasn't feeling me over there. That's cool. I said, y'all so busy talking about how stupid, and it's not just him, it's the radio. They talk about how stupid Herschel Walker is. He don't know this. They talk about the baby mamas. They got a whole list of shit of what's wrong with Herschel Walker. But they don't say anything about his opposition. And I'm saying to myself, okay, y'all know everything that's wrong with him. Tell me something good about the other guy. Why are we focusing in on the negative of one individual? Don't you, in order to know somebody, don't you? I mean, if you got two people competing, do you only need to know what's bad about one of them so the other one is good just because the other one's bad checklist is in front of you? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And then I use this thing. They said, well, Herschel Walker got kids. And keep in mind, I'm not defending Herschel Walker and his political aspects. His political positions. That ain't where I'm at with it. I'm just saying that when you hear so much bad about an individual, don't you think you want to hear something good about the opposition? I use this example. If you and I are going after this chick and all you doing is giving her my checklist of how bad I am. Yeah, he this, he that, he this, he that, he this, he that, he this, he that. And those are facts, girl. Those are facts. But he don't never tell her nothing about himself. Do she really know what she getting? You know everything about me and how fucked up I am, how many kids and how many baby mamas, all that old shit. You know all that shit about me. But he ain't never focused in on himself. I said, if you want Herschel Walker to look real bad, or if you want me to look real bad, all you got to do is tell the people how great you are. And then have me try to match how great you are. See, if he trying to get the woman and I'm trying to get the woman, and he's so busy on my checklist of what's wrong with me, he ain't focused in on himself. She still don't know what she getting, right? He ain't saying nothing. He's just talking about how bad I am. Now, let's flip the script. If I want her, I ain't got to talk about him. I ain't going to talk about him. I'm just going to tell you what I can do. I'm going to tell you who I am. Me, the person you'll be getting. I don't need you to know what's bad and what's fucked up about him. I just want you to know what I am and who I am. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about what we'll do together. Let's talk about our gains. Let's talk about the things I've been through. You may not want to go through those things with a guy like me, but at least you'll know who you're dealing with. Fuck him. If I can't do that, if I can't talk about me and know who I'm getting, who you getting, we ain't got no conversation. I always find it funny. I find those people skep. I find something wrong when all you can do is talk bad about somebody else and ain't got nothing good to say about yourself. Oh, there must be a reason. There's got to be a reason why somebody would just shit on me and not talk about themselves. Herschel Walker had a bunch of kids. He had 4 baby mamas. Herschel Walker was an NFL football player. Y'all know how that lifestyle can be for some of these brothers, millionaires at 22 years old. You trying to tell me that y'all mad at this man because he's a pro-life guy now after making some mistakes, after having baby mamas, after being in a situation where he lived a rock star life. He grew up, he matured. How many of y'all got sons that did the same thing? How many of y'all got baby boys? How many of y'all got, what's his name from Baby Boy? What was his name? Somebody put it up there. Y'all know the movie. How many of y'all mamas got what was his name on there? I know Tyrese. What character did he play? Jamie or some shit like that. How many of y'all got a Jamie and your son had 2 or 3 babies early in life because he was out here funning? And now he's a much improved, smarter man, and he taking care of his business, and he made mistakes early in life. And you didn't have $2-3 million to go with those mistakes. So now he grows up and matures and says, hey, man, I'm all about life. Jody, thank you, Steven Speed. I'm all about life, man. I'm all about doing the right thing. So you telling me because you might have had a train wreck or a traffic jam early in life that you can't turn around and say, no, this shit is wrong. I might even pay for a couple abortions when I was younger. But it wasn't right. I didn't know any better. But I'm a grown ass man now. And this is how I feel. And you talking to a man that I believe is pro-choice. I'm pro-choice. But at the same time, I have no beef with people that are pro-life because I get it. I get it. You don't know what people been through to make them feel that way, to make them actually feel pro-life. You don't know what they've been through. And you don't even know where they stand in their pro-life stance. They may say, yeah, I'm pro-life up to, anything past 15 weeks. I'm pro-life for that. I want those people born. You don't know. They might say, well, yeah, the first two, first 8 weeks or whatever, I'm okay. I can understand circumstances happen and, I'm okay with abortions at that point. But once it's a fetal and it gets to a certain point, yeah, I believe I'm a pro-life individual. You never know. But as soon as you hear somebody say pro-life, they either got to be a nasty Republican or a Trumpster or something. I know a lot of people that are Democrat that are pro-life. I know when I say a lot, I don't know a lot. I know about 3 or 4 people personally that are Democrats and they actually believe in pro-life. And then you got people out here that are interacting and interchanging all these arguments and just adding a lot of chaos where it's not necessary. It's just amazing to me how we get easily manipulated, how we can easily be told or shamed for our feelings. It's amazing. It's amazing. Not me. Been around too long. I went through too much peer pressure as a child to be a grown ass man and be peer pressured. Hell, these motherfuckers ain't even my peer, let alone they gonna pressure me. You still got people talking about things that don't even really exist, and they can't wait. They can't wait for that type of thing to happen again. They're sitting they sitting back waiting for another incident that happened 6 months ago, a year ago, to happen again so they can say, "See, this shit happens all the time." And they totally ignore all the shit that happens in between. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Totally ignore all the shit that go on in between your last Chaos Agent episode and now. They totally forget. They totally ignore 13 and 14-year-olds killing 15-year-olds. They totally ignore 14 and 15-year-olds shooting inside of the Dollar General, killing a 14-year-old kid who grandmother happens to be on our show on a regular basis. Some of us don't get, some of us don't care unless we're affected. Then all of a sudden we get I was going to say something that's not cool, but we get all in our emotions when shit happen. I got in a little trouble when I was a kid one time. I got to share this. I got to share it. My mother was a huge influence on my life because she argued a lot about shit. I mean, not in a bad way. Like she was a debater. I shouldn't say argue. She debated shit. I think that's where I got that trait from. But anyway, I was at a school. Y'all know I told you I went to a school in Cincinnati out in Madisonville as a young guy. CCA, Cincinnati Community Academy. It was like a charter school back in the day. It was a black school. And I learned a lot there. But one thing that I learned more than anything was I learned a lot of Black history, but I learned a lot more about real life than any school could ever teach me. And one of those things that I learned is that I remember Mr. Stinson and Mr. Kelly. These are the days when we used to get SWATs. Like they gave SWATs out at that school, like, hit you on the ass in front of everybody in the classroom. And I was the SWAT king. I got SWATs a lot because I went to bat for everybody. I defended everybody. And I remember one time we had a kid who was in a wheelchair come to the school. Now, I wasn't enrolled in the school yet, but came to the school, I guess, because I did that. Before I went there, they would let you come to the school for a couple days and your parents would be, they find out. And I didn't know. I just went to the school for a couple of days. My mother pulled me out, and then she asked me about it. And I said, yeah, it was pretty cool. I like it. And then I ended up getting enrolled. So they let you try the school out for a couple of days. Kid in a wheelchair shows up. And I'm assuming that he was just doing the same process that a lot of us did. He was there trying out the school, seeing if it was good for him. Well, me being who I am, I noticed that the kid couldn't really get around. I mean, he had help, but I was noticing that none of the stairs had the wheelchair ramps. We didn't have no elevator and shit like that. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, this shit ain't gonna work out for him. So what do I take my little sixth grade ass? I walk out of class. In the middle of the classroom one day, I just walked out of Mr. Stinson's class. And I went straight to Mr. Kelly in them office, who was the principal, Mr. and Mrs. Kelly. Y'all might remember them. They family owned Mr. Kelly's back in the day. Well, they owned this charter school as well. I took my little bitty ass I was sixth grader, took my little ass into Mr. Kelly's office, Mr. and Mrs. Kelly's office, and I said, we about to shut this school down. They must have thought I was crazy because they used to call me preacher. And they was like, what's wrong now, Mr. Wyatt? And I said, well, we got this kid out here and we ain't got no stairs that he can get his wheelchair up. We ain't got no elevators. We ain't got shit. We ain't got nothing around. I ain't quite say it like that. But I'm like, we ain't got nothing conducive to how we going, this is not equal. This is not now y'all taught us how to keep things fair and equal. I'm going in. Mr. Simpson came down the hall because I left that class. He had his SWAT. He had his paddle right in his hand. Walked in the office. He heard me. Mr. Kelly told him, no, let him talk. Let him talk. And I'm like, how are we going to be special and equal and bring everybody into what we believe and how we do things? And we can't even have, and I don't remember the kid's name, but he can't even get around the school. How cool? That's not cool. By the end of my little 10-minute, 15-minute rant, Mr. Kelly looked at me and he looked at Mr. Stinson. Mr. Stinson was right here with the paddle. And he said, Mr. Stinson, you can go ahead and return back to your classroom. I'll handle this one. He said, yes, sir. So he go back to his room. Mr. Kelly sat me down in his office and he said, listen, you're going to be special one day because you fight for all the right things. You fight for the things that a lot of people are not paying attention to, young man. He said to me, you're going to come over people that look just like you, that are not going to appreciate your efforts. He said some of them will even smile in your face and laugh with you. And they'll be the Judith of your cause. Now I can remember this. I'm in the sixth grade. These are his words to me. He said, Mr. Wyatt, I know one day you're going to be successful. You have no malice in your approach. You mean what you say. Now take your ass down there and get them 3 swats for leaving the room. He literally said that. I promise you, he said that to me. I went down the hallway. I thought I was getting the swats. He didn't already radioed down to Mr. Stinson, have him sit down and we'll give him a detention. I was not able to go to the boys club that day. We had a game. We had a basketball game that day, and I had to stay at school for a detention. So I missed my basketball game. But I'd rather have taken them swats than miss my basketball game. The point of this is I've been doing this since the 6th grade, guys. I've been taking swats and I've been looked at, people laughing with me and circling back and sabotaging. And, these are my favorite people that say shit like this. Oh man, I'm with you. Keep teaching, bro. Love what you're doing. Love it. And then I see them on another platform talking that we shall overcome bullshit. Yeah, that motherfucker's holding us back, bro. We can't get no bank loans. We can't do this. We can't do. They just got their foot on our neck and blah, blah, blah. Y'all the funniest. Y'all the funniest. And I don't even expose you. I just don't fuck with you. Y'all the funniest though. Y'all the absolute, y'all just fucking wreck to me. The funniest in the world. And here's the other one. And I said I wasn't going to say anything, but I got to say something about this because I'm starting to notice some things that's going to happen next month. And it's pertaining to an industry that I was in, that I'm still in. I just don't do it with certain people anymore. But these people, you love some of these people. So I got to be careful how I say it because some of y'all might lose your mind. But I remember these brothers calling me and they were making it clear, we only going to mess with you. Now, you know, the white boy over there doing this and the white boy doing that, and the white boy that, and the white boy, white boy, this and this, the white boy. But the brother, you know, we got you, bro. We got you. Well, you know, they got me as long as I'm saying yes. You understand what I'm saying? As long as I'm going along with the go along and the get along, if I'm financing the projects, what we're doing, it's all that. But soon as some shit ain't going the right way, or I feel like I need to peel back, or no, man, I can't put my money into that and this and this and that. Dude, don't act right, or this shit ain't looking right to me. Now they go straight to the people. I gotta say it for what it is. Y'all know me, I'm a dollar bill about it. They go straight to them same motherfuckers that they was saying, you know, the white man, the white this and the white man, we ain't gonna fuck with that. We got you and you are, man, the white man, we ain't gonna fuck with them and blah, 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 blah. And blah, 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 blah. And blah, 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 blah. It's always blah, blah, blah. That's all I ever hear when I hear that shit now. We got you, bro, when blah, 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 blah. It's black, we ain't gonna fuck with the white boy, blah, 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 blah. But if I ain't cutting no check, they don't give a fuck who giving them what they need. See? I got people that y'all love that I could be saying this shit about. But I respect them enough. They may not respect me, but I respect them enough to not play that game of putting names in the air. I just don't do shit like that. I put the information out here so you can attach it to something that might be relevant to your life. And all that blah, blah, blah shit might come down your alley one day and you can recognize it. I don't want to put a name to it. I just need you to see the game. So now when the game come at you, you can put your own names to it. Just being honest. I'm going to sit back here and let you do the work. But it's always we together, bro. Bow, 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 bow. We got you, bro. Bow, 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 bow. But if you ain't cutting no check, what do I always say, family? What do I always say? Loyalty. Loyalty? Most motherfuckers' loyalty is only as good as their next opportunity. I'm going to get you with a Dr. Umar Johnson. You know, he'll say that shit 5 times until you get it. So I'm going to say it 4 more. Loyalty is only as good as their next opportunity. Dr. Umar, may I? Loyalty to most people is only as good as their next opportunity. Loyalty is only as good as their next opportunity. So when you hit me with that old bro, we got you shit and bro, and all that old shit, man, say that shit. And I ain't gonna pump fake you. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not gonna do business with some other people. I ain't even that, I can't fraud through that. My biggest contracts came from some white folks, Jew people, Asians. I shouldn't say Jew people, Jewish people, Asians, whites, blacks. I don't discriminate on where the money come from. And I'm not going to sit back. It ain't one client in my life have I ever sat back and called them the N-word in my office, nor have I ever had a client in my life and pump faked them with the fake brother shit. Never. I ain't never sat back and been like, hey, bro, you spend the money over here and all that old shit. No, my service will speak for itself. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being as honest as I possibly can with you. What time is it? Oh, I got a few more minutes. I tell you what, any questions? I didn't get to the chat. I probably could go in even deeper on this, but I didn't want to. Maybe when I get to a point where I feel like if I say too much, I won't get angry. I don't really, sometimes I get to a point where I could lose my I can lose my chill. You know what I'm saying? I could lose my I don't care. Daryl Brooks trial. Help me out. Ross says the Daryl Brooks trial. I know you said something about Daryl Brooks in another comment. What's the Daryl Brooks trial? Help me out. I've been gone for a while, bro. I'm sorry, man. My apologies. I probably should know. You put it up here, I'll probably be like, oh, okay. But I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But you did say something about it earlier, Roz, and I was not able to read the whole comment. If you put it in there, I'll say what I have to say about it. I don't know how much I can say, to be honest with you, Roz, because if I'm not familiar with it. I might be able to give you an opinion of where it may go, but as far as guilt or innocent, ran over parade in the Wisconsin. What happened? What happened? I mean, okay. I know what happened. Is that his name, the Daryl Brooks? Is that the guy who ran over the old elderly ladies at the parade in Wisconsin? Is that what that is? What about the trial? He's obviously guilty for it. It's just a matter of if they're gonna give him a plea deal. I mean, what man is not gonna go in front of the court and plead not guilty? Hell, the kid that ran into the grocery store, shot 3 outside the grocery store in Buffalo, went in and shot another 6 or 7. He pled not guilty, and he had the shit. He had it damn near. He had the webcam on his helmet showing what he was doing, and he pled not guilty. So I mean, they all plead not guilty, but you know what that's just standard practice on the defense side. Him defending himself. He is a fool for a client. So that's what he's doing, Roz. He's going to end up, he's defending himself in that trial. Oh man, he's fried. What is he going to possibly say? Let me tell you, when he gets in there, that language is going to kick his ass. See, some jailhouse dude then worked him up. And here's the other play. He may be doing it for the mental health aspect. He may be going in. I know y'all seen the one brother who went in and had a murder trial. I don't know if it was in the Georgia area or whatever, but he defended himself. A lot of people ran that meme and ran that story and made fun of that dude because he was acting crazy in courtroom. He defended himself and he said everything to get himself convicted, right? And he sounded articulate, but he was far from a smart guy. He was not serving himself well. And that being said, I think he took that approach for the insanity plea. I think that's going to come out in they're going to get a conviction, and then he's going to go for he's going to file an appeal and have proper representation at that point. and probably get his conviction overturned and get a new trial, and he'll probably get resentenced. That could be the same approach here. That could be the same thing here. If you go in, represent yourself, I mean, you have every right to do that. You go in, you sound crazy when you do this shit. You go in there, you give no case, you pretty much find yourself guilty, and you really want to cut your sentence by being incompetent. I mean, it makes sense. Some can get away with it and some can't. It makes sense. So this guy is going to defend himself in an obvious guilty situation. Although, I'll be honest with you, there may be some room for innocence. And the reason why I say that is because I don't know all the evidence against this man other than what I've seen on the news. And that is, they say he was the driver of the car. Well, me not knowing the case, I don't know if he has an alibi for where he was during the parade. I don't know where, I don't know if they have footage of him actually in the car at the parade. There's a lot of street lights and street cameras. I don't know the circumstances. I can tell you one thing. Him defending himself is definitely the wrong angle. Yeah. She says, Ross says, judge doing everything her best to avoid mistrial. Well, it may be, I don't think it'll be a mistrial. Okay, because he's crazy and this and this and that. I think, well, unless he's in there performing and acting up. If he's doing that, they'll cancel, they can do that. But they're gonna bring him back. Once he gets an evaluation, they'll bring him back, and then they'll get him representation, and then he'll get what he's supposed to get. But that could be part of the play. That could be part of the play of getting the crazy house instead of the penitentiary. Never know. Never know. All right, so let me see. Is there anything else? He's objecting to everything. I would too. I mean, I know what to do. If I was in his position and I was playing crazy, I would object to everything. And he's probably objecting to I shouldn't get technical, but he's probably objecting to things that are non-objective. Okay. And it could be some things that are in his favor. He's probably making a straight ass of himself in the courtroom. I will check on it, Roz. All right. I'll check on it. Let's see. What time is it? It is 10 till. Anybody else have anything? Anybody else have anything before I check out? Anybody have anything? Because I'm going to check out of here and take care of a few things. Going once. Going twice. All right. Well, this is what I would like to do before I get out of here. Okay, Shaba Zulu, what's good? I didn't even know you were here. My apologies for not acknowledging you. What Candace Owens talking about on her premiere of The Rise of the Black BLM dropping tomorrow? My goodness, how could I have not? Shaba Zulu, I am going to do my show tomorrow is going to be on the BLM on this Candace Owens thing. I have the clip and everything. I should have loaded it up so I could play it on here. Thank you for asking me that question. That's a great question, and it's a great segue to what I'm doing for tomorrow. I think we're going to learn a whole lot off of this Candace Owens special. I know a lot of y'all don't like Candace Owens, but I have a different aspect. I have a different look out for who Candace Owens is and who she is and what she talks about and who I compare her to. I know a lot of people don't like her. She's probably not the most I don't know. She doesn't have, she's very articulate, and most Black people can't stand. Let's just be honest. We already don't like people that sound sedity. Now y'all gonna think I'm wrong for this shit. Candace Owens, who I don't have a problem with, sounds very sedity when she speaks. Okay. Being sedity sounding and combining that with the shit that she says is total turnoff for the Black community. But I'm going to tell you something that y'all not really going to like to hear. And that's this. Candace Owens has not said anything that let me rephrase this. I can't think of anything that Candace Owens haven't said that Minister Louis Farrakhan has not been telling us for 20 years. Okay, y'all got to understand. Did you just hear what I said? She sounds sedity. Okay? She sounds like somebody that's losing their mind. She sounds uppity to the Black community. And with combinations of saying that and being critical, let me just say this. Y'all have a problem with what Marquetta says on these platforms. I don't have a problem with what Marquetta says. We can find all these innuendos and we can find all these in-between things that she hit on, and she kind of stay off. She can go off course sometime, but it's all in good. I believe it's in good heart, good nature of her. I really do. I wouldn't say that shit if I didn't mean it. But I'm just going to tell you, the combination of her sounding sedity and then bringing in these real statistics and these numbers that she talk about the Black community, that's just a bad combination of being a fan favorite. Nobody's going to like her because of what she says. I need somebody to answer this question before you doubt her on the things that she says. Is she lying? When you say 70%, it's actually 74% of Black mothers are raising their children on their own. Fatherless homes are the main reason. Obama said that. Obama said that fatherless homes are going to be, that's a problem in America. That's a problem in America. See, he could say fatherless homes is a problem in America and not make it sound like what he really meant to say. And that is in the Black community. He ain't gonna never say no shit like that. Obama would have lost credibility, no matter how sophisticated and suave he was in his deliverance. Y'all gotta understand, I ain't got no problem with Obama, but Obama was the typical Black man who got by. He was raised by white people. He was he was taught how to move gracefully with big words. And just the fact that he was Black, he was the biggest fucking obstacle to Black people in the world. Because Obama, let's think about it. He got by playing that shit about being from Chicago. Man, you was dropped in Chicago. You wasn't raised in Chicago. You wasn't raised in the Chi. Nigga, don't come off like you from the streets of the Chi. You was raised in Hawaii with white folks. You was raised by the same principles of people that say, get off your ass and grab your bootstraps and go get it. Get an education. You was raised by the same principles of the shit that you say don't work for people. It worked for you, but you willing to make money and willing to take a political position and use that same position, use that talk and say it don't work for people, but it worked for you. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. So back to the question Shabazz asked about the Candace Owens thing. I'm going to drop a video on my page. And it's going to be about this special that Candace Owens is doing. I think it's going to show exactly what I've been saying and a lot of people have been saying. And when we say it, we're coons, right? I'm a coon for saying that BLM was some bullshit. Not to mention that BLM, two different organizations are going at it right now over money. Grassroots. Come on, man. $80 million. And there's not one Black Lives Matter. There's a whole lot of murals. There's a whole lot of shit that we raise money for locally. But where are the offices? Let me just say this to you. And I can't even stand real tall on this, but I'll say it as much as I possibly can. I'll say what I got to say. What Let's just be honest. Wouldn't the NAACP be totally different if they had $80 million? Don't they have a presence in all these cities? Mallory is the president of the Cincinnati NAACP. If the organization had 80 or 90 million dollars, do you know how that would trickle down to the local offices of NAACPs throughout this country? And don't you know that those NAACPs would be doing stuff for the Boys and Girls Club down at Myrtle in Florida? Don't you think they would play a big part? But you give an organization just with a big, beautiful ass, heart-filling slogan, Black Lives Matter, there's no accountability with it, because if we as emotional creatures challenge it, must be Trumpsters, must be coons. We got to get out of this emotional slavery. We got to get out of this emotional brainwashing that we're in. All you got to do, and I know this is going to hurt some feelings. It ain't going to hurt no feelings, but this is going to fuck up some people, because I'm just keeping it 100 about this. Okay? You'll never know how motherfuckers will do you till you get some money. I know. There you go, saying that elite shit. No. I'm just being 100 with you. You'll never know how ruthless and how fucked up people can be out here to you until you get some money. Because everybody think that if you got a bunch of money, life is good. Not necessarily. You can have all the money in the world, but the resources will kill you. If you have all the money in the world but got bad resources, it's just a matter of time before you won't have any money anymore. There has to be a combination. There has to be a good mixture. You have to combine your funds and your money with great resources. You can't just have a bunch of money and have everybody mad at you or everybody against you. So the Candace Owens thing tomorrow, like I said, she rubbed people the wrong way, but I ain't never heard her say anything that Louis Farrakhan, the honorable Louis Farrakhan, who I've listened to for 20 years of my life. I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything that he says. I don't agree with everything Dr. Umar says. I don't agree with everything that conservatives say. I don't believe everything that left-wingers say. I don't believe everything, but that's the beauty of America, folks. It allows me to be who I am and congest what I want to congest and come up with my own theories. That's what the world is built on. I've never shamed anybody for they believe. I ain't never called nobody stupid because they did something or they feel a certain way. You ain't never heard me say that on the air. God, dog, I really feel that way sometimes, but you ain't never heard me shame nobody about it. I ain't never told. Now, I did say some shit about Cardi B, but I didn't shame the people that listened to her. And when she was talking that Joe Biden shit, I didn't say nothing. I just said this shit is wrong. Shit sound crazy. Who the hell go get somebody like Cardi B? I didn't say anything when Hillary Clinton was on the Breakfast Club and was pump faking that fake ass loyalty shit to the black community, talking about I got hot sauce in my bag. And they was on her, they was jocking her. Oh yeah, for real? Damn, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. And then she break up and be like, well, is it working? Anybody see that? I ain't say nothing about that. So tomorrow, it's important that everybody watch the BLM, that Black Lives Matter video that Candace Owens is doing. And then let's see if after you watch that, I know some cynical minds are going to be like, oh, they edited that shit. That shit ain't real. Ain't none of it going to be believable to certain minds. But I can guarantee you what she going to show you, I've already had in my mind. I've already, because I know how the money work. I know how the money work. And I can tell you right now, there was nothing put in place to show that it was an active organization. Nothing. There was nothing put in place. No chapters put in office. No chapters in cities. None of that. And when I went in and I was like, well, I'm going to apply for the Black Lives Matter scholarship for my daughter's schooling. And when I seen the things that I seen, it didn't match up with the other things that I was looking at scholarships. I knew it was some bullshit. So I don't have to believe Candace Owens. I don't have to deny anything that she's saying, but it's definitely going to be something on my watch list. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to critique it. I'm going to probably be sitting there saying, yeah, I know what that W-9 looks like. I know what that corporate write-off was for Coca-Cola. I know how that person gave up $500,000 of feel-good money, and then they got their tax write-off for it. Plus, they stayed good for the people that they wanted to show it off to. I know what all that looked like. I know what it all looked like. Remember, I told you, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the resources to go along with the money, it don't mean nothing. You'll be broke. So when you're Coca-Cola or when you're Major League Baseball and you're not playing around with you're not doing what they tell you to do, you're facing all this criticism throughout the country, then you pull your all-star game out of Georgia, costing the black vendors and the black business owners millions of dollars. That's just being too damn smart. That's being too smart for your own damn good. You pulled out millions of dollars, hurting your own people. That's the shit I be talking about. Now, the person who raised the most chaos and raised the most hell, they got their money. But Mr. Starks, who owned the bread company, who supply all the bread to the black-owned restaurants on the east side of Atlanta, he didn't do no business that week. All that expectation of earning that they was going to get at that all-star game, it all trickled down to nothing. So y'all keep on falling for that old we shall overcome shit from these politicians and these people that's playing their $175,000 a year jobs, trying to make sure that things get right for you. No, what they doing is they in position to keep shit right for them, because keep in mind, if they fix the problem, they're not needed. They're not needed. All I'm going to say to y'all is this before I get out of here. Three words. I ain't going to do what Biden did. He said, I got 2 words to tell you. 2 words. Made in America. So I'm going to do this shit the right way, okay? I'm going to do this shit the right way. I'm just going to tell you, I got 3 words for you. 3 words for you. Let me get my shit right. 3 words for you. You ready? Get some money. I'm out, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Peace and love to everybody.
Petty don't matter. Far as that teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been in prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, about my face, wearing that monkey. Not that, that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster, down a call NASCAR. My solo no sir, I am not a passer. I will not after any of you fever blistered Ain't I work a plan now? Can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player male. What you talking that funky, about my face, wearing that monkey. Not that, that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money.
I say get some money, go get some